versus Team Spear. How you doing, Beanjar?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing pretty good, you know. School semester's over, all my tests are passed, and I get to enjoy some awesome League of Legends today.
Let's go.
Yeah. So coming into this match right now, we've got BBZ. You know, they're on a really good trajectory right now at 5-1. On the other hand, though, Spear been a little bit shaky so far at the start of this season.
Yeah, no, I do see that. I'm still on the side of BBZ. I'm very confident they've been playing consistently well. Like they're just overall a good team. However, Spear is just kind of making their way through the season. Like they're shaping up as they go, it feels like.
Indeed, they are. They have been starting to figure themselves out, finding where they want to go in this with their compositions. We'll have to see if they can continue that momentum today against BBZ, or if BBZ can keep their near perfect record intact as they start heading towards the top of the ladder, try to get that distance separated in the pack. So we already are underway in this draft. Last band coming through for Team Spear right now. And for those not aware, Gwen and Rammus are enabled this week, so I'm hoping we get to see one of them. Rammus got his rework, and Gwen being brand new.
Honestly, I don't care too much for Gwen, but honestly, Rammus will be. I'm hopefully played because like that is one of my favorite champions. Aside from like things like a Moo, just got a lot of personality right there.
The 7 lines of dialogue personality.
Yeah,
Okay.
it speaks volumes.
Yeah. Also, this speaks volume is that BBZ has put a lot of priority on getting their support as their first pick. Not something we see a lot in this league.
Oh yeah. Wait. Yeah, no, I'm good with that portion. But what I do see is the BBZ's bans. Okay, I'm assuming that they don't want Spear to have any safe picks. Like all of the champions that they've banned out are just like, hey, you won't have this counter re-engage. You won't have the ultimate. You won't have a respawn. Like I feel like even though Spear has a somewhat safe playstyle, BBZ is just goes for lots of flanks from what I've seen in the VODs.
Yeah, and Team Spear calling that bluff, and they're grabbing a lot of engage here. Volibear and Rakan, some very nice engage, but BBZ, they've got a lot of disengage on their side too. As both sides have their supports and junglers draft. We'll have to see if they continue this matchup through the back end of it as the bot lane comes to completion with the Kai'Sa for BBZ. Now, if you're Team Spear, what AD carry would you draft going into Kai'Sa? We know Red can play it pretty well.
I'm thinking probably something like Vayne in this situation, because it's not your goal to win lane, but if you can just... Actually, Malzahar does a trick because he does percent HP damage or magic damage, but I was thinking Vayne would be able to tear through the Alistar Sejuani and rival the damage of Kai'Sa while also being generally safe because of the Rakan. And you don't need to win lane, you just need to survive it so you can get to your late game.
Yeah, and well, I wonder if that's... I assume it's Malzahar mid. It could be Malzahar bot lane. I know there are some people that like to take those AP carries down to the bottom side. Malzahar is really good for that because he can clear the wave so fast. He can match Kai'Sa's clear on that. And he's fairly safe with his shield. But we'll have to see where that goes in the second half of this. But now that means that these teams are not matched up in their draft. So I would expect to see a heavier focus on mid lane bans from Spear outside of, that Mordekaiser, but it's so far looking like top lane for Monster, except for that Yasuo.
Yeah, you don't really know who's going to be top lane or mid lane. I think they're just banning out a potential combo you could have with the Malphite Yasuo, and I think that BBZ is actually banning out top laners and... Yeah, no, top laners, where you could have a Volibear top laner, but I assume that they know what their jungler is gonna play. I assume that Big Brain, on the side of BBZ, they assume that Volibear is gonna be the jungler.
Yeah, trying to call the bluff of this being a flex, saying this Volibear isn't going top. You don't send bears to the top lane, you send them to the jungle where they go and eat honey and steal picnic baskets.
It's a polar bear, he's gonna die.
Well, it depends on the forest, because you're far enough north. The Vayne coming through, like you predicted, actually really good prediction there.
Ooh, oh my god.
Yeah, Vayne bottom lane. Vayne Rakan isn't, something I generally think of as a combo that works well together. It's a lot of engage from the Rakan, but not a lot of range to follow up with the Vayne. She's going to have to kind of tumble forward into it and put herself into risk. I'll have to see if they can match that. Ooh, a Nidalee. Is that mid?
Huh?
Is that a mid Nidalee?
No. That's jungle Nidalee.
But they have
mid Aurelia. Wait, what?
I think that is a mid Nidalee and a top lane
That
Irelia.
is strange. Okay, you know what? I'm through that.
I haven't seen mid lane Nidalee in so long, since she used to have the nuke spears of death. They toss it off screen at max range. It 2,500 health somebody in an instant, like Zoe Q's with bubble. Except you didn't need to land a bubble, and you could chuck the spears infinitely, and never put yourself in danger. As the draft is closed out by spear with the Wukong, so it is a jungle volley bear. Interesting drafts. I think I want to get your take on them, though, Beanjar.
I don't even know who's going in what lane. I don't have a take yet, but I'm assuming if Spear can last out long enough, then they will have a pretty decent advantage. However, BBZ is great with macro, so I'm going with BBZ for now.
Alrighty. I always think of an Aurelia as something really strong, but Nidalee mid is something that I don't think is anywhere near as strong as it used to be.
Do we know it's Nidalee midi? Oh, wait. Sejuani top, I'm hearing. Oh, it's going to be...
That's not something you see. Yeah, it's also something I've seen in a while, okay?
I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I think Spear can take it, but if it goes early, if it goes late, I think Spear can take it. Vayne will shred through those tanks, but we'll have to see how this goes as we get straight onto the Rift. Aurelia mid, Nidalee jungle.
He's got a motorcycle. Oh, no, he doesn't have a motorcycle.
This is definitely not a comp I thought we would see, and I do agree. Motorcycle gone. But who needs motorcycles when you can just barrel roll your way around the map?
You need a hoverboard. You need Seraphine's hoverboard. The one that's powered off of tortured souls of, what's his name, Skarner's family? Yeah, something like that.
Oh, good old lore. Yeah, I never realized, Seraphine's old lore is supposed to make her sound so happy,
but it's okay because she'll sing them a song and it makes it all better.
Yeah, it's supposed to be all happy and cheery singing song, but she is taking advantage of a murdered species. It'd be like if you were a cool musician but used endangered Galapagos turtle shells.
To what you said.
It's just to make your music. It's what you use for your drums.
It's the equivalent of throwing straws into the ocean, just yay! Now you can drink more water.
That's okay. Good times. So I think looking at this right now, I think obviously this top lane matchup is pretty nifty. I mean, we are already seeing Nier and Orphic just starting out this fight, some brawling early on. If you're Spear and now you see this crazy lane come out, your idea that, hey, this is Sejuani jungle will be fine, and it's not that anymore. Where do you think their priorities should be? Where should they be looking to gank, trying to get ahead now that they know that they've got this crazy matchup they're dealing with?
Well, I feel like your assumption is to gank the Sejuani because you assume that they don't know how to play it, but that's still you want to put down the stronger lanes, there's two ways you could go about it. You want to empower your strong lanes, which you're not really sure what it is yet, or you want to put down the enemy's potential strong lane. So ganking things like the Kaisa Irelia, like the Sejuani, you don't have the most insane kill pressure on, so you kind of avoid that for now.
Yeah, I agree. I actually think the Kaisa is probably the best opportunity they have. It's the least mobile of the bunch. Irelia, kind of, I guess she can't really dash to her own minions, but if there's a cannon or something too far, or one of those little bees, it is Bizahar. Yeah. You can just jump to the bee and escape. So actually, I take that back. The Aurelia might be the better option here because there is no peel for her outside of her own E. We'll have to see. It looks like this Sejuani is the target right now.
Oh no, I'm not a big fan of this gank. I say this is just to bide time until you need to go for Scuttle, but the wave is just set up pretty horribly here. You either gotta just go get more vision into the enemy jungle, because that would get you more for now. And because you see, by process of elimination, you could assume Nidalee is bot side, which is correct because Spear's playing accordingly. But I'd really love to see. Oh, it might be a gank towards mid actually.
It does look like it indeed. Diddle trying to silence lights, but he's going to walk out of there just fine. A little bit too far for the bear to chase down. And ooh, Near getting pretty low on that top side right there. He is losing out on these trades. He does have the tankiness, you know, with the passive, but once that wears off, Sejuani really doesn't have that much. And while it works for jungle Sejuani, you know, because she's not constantly engaging in fights, she has some time. And ooh, actually Diddle getting kind of low here. He's getting ignited. He's trying to flash away. The flash comes out from lights, and it's first blood going to him. But he's getting so low. Big Brain trying to chase up. He flashes forward, gets the stun. He does grab one, and he's going to take that down. A 1-for-1 trade right now. He's trying to see if they can make it 2. Dax trying to get something out of this, but he's taking a lot of damage. Big Brain now getting jumped on, getting so low. Dax looking for that spear, and now Diddle is here to stave off any more on that play. A good trade in the mid lane, and honestly, a lot deeper of a dive than I thought that Aurelia was going to go for.
Yeah, as far as summoners go, I'd say that Spear lost on that one. However, you do get a little bit more gold because you get an assist, which is actually outbalanced my first blood. Never mind. So it's kind of rough for both sides. I'd say it's pretty even, but you don't have the teleport advantage on Malzahar, which is big.
Yeah, that is true. It means that the Aurelia can and will try to find players on the bottom side. However, now Nier's teleport is down, so there is 1 teleport to each team for them to, you know, try to make a play on this bottom side here. It's been pretty quiet down here for the most part. Mostly just trades, a little bit of poke here and there. Nothing really major going on so far. But, you know, Aurelia is something that's really scary when you see it get a lot of, like, a kill like that. And, you know, if you're Spear, you got to be careful that you don't just let this snowball.
Yeah, I think this is just BBZ showing how confident they are. Oh, there might be actually a skirmisher, but I doubt there's any kill pressure, though.
Yeah, Nier looking for something, but his damage isn't really much without his dash. And he's just going to kind of back off right there. Orphic doing actually a pretty good work in this. He's not even going for AD. He's trying to be a bit tankier so he can survive in those fights longer, it looks like.
Yeah, Sejuani's pretty tanky. It seems that Wukong brought his own wet noodle because he's not going to kill that Sejuani anytime soon. So wet noodle fight.
I mean, he almost did earlier. Like, I think
the like level 2.
That's fair.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I think he has. I'd have to look at the numbers, but I think he has higher health regen than she does. Plus, also, you know, it's just being a Wukong has just higher base damages coming out, more of a damage-focused champion. As looks like the call is right now for BBZ to start heading towards that dragon. They do spot out Big Brain. They're looking for something right here. Aurura's got to be careful. You don't want to just get flash popped back over the wall into the river and die. And it looks like they're going to give up this Drake. It's just a Mountain Drake, first Drake. You know, they do have a tank, so that'll be nice for them. But with only 1, it's not a massive amount of stats.
I need 2 on the Alistar and Sejuani, so I think it actually works out. But it's not really about the Drake. It's about the gold value and the armor gained and the tempo you get. Like, this is just a flex of power at this point, and BBZ is really confident. I had a point before about this, but every single champion on BBZ has their own way of engaging onto someone on a Team Sword. Wait, Spear?
Spear, yeah,
Spear. My bad. Okay.
So many weapons in the team names.
Yeah. So they're giving him a T-pose, but really it's just a dash on every single person. Like, you have opportunities with every single champion here.
Ooh. Nier spots out Orphic trying to back. Orphic getting low. He doesn't have much mana, so he's got to be careful here. He is stunned up. Nier looks like he might actually try for this. He is going to get the stun. He's getting so low. Orphic's got to run. I don't know if he's going to be unless he's got his clone up. He's getting super low. Is he going to get it? The flash. Oh, he flashes too. Oh my god. Nier gets it, but Orphic turns it around, making him flash into the turret. Another 1-for-1 trade, this time coming out of the top lane.
Okay, with this 1-for-1 trade, what it then means is that Wukong's a little bit closer to... actually, not a Black Cleaver. I think he's actually going to go for the... What's it called? The...
Gore Drinker?
Yes, the Gore Drinker. So he's going for the Gore Drinker. However, on the side of Sejuani, if you see that the Wukong is going for the Gore Drinker, I would assume that your next step would be to instead of buying those wards and the potion, you instead buy the anti-heal, because anti-healing is better than no anti-healing at this point, because this season's going to be really broken.
Yeah, but what, like, as a tank, like what early item would you grab for that for that heal reduction. I mean, you can't really grab the Oblivion Orb, nothing really to make it unless you're going AP Sejuani, but you're
Oh,
supposed to
I'd
be your
love
team.
to see an AP Sejuani. I'll
Would be
eat my
cool.
shoe if I see an AP Sejuani, man.
But then the other option is, and I think it's called Avarice Blade still. I think they might have changed that name, but I mean,
It's Executioner's Blade, I think.
oh, yeah, sorry, Executioner's Blade, right?
Yeah.
But like, are you gonna build that an AD item like that on a Sejuani? Like,
No, you just need the Grievous Bramble Vest. That's what it's called.
that's what you meant. Okay, sorry.
My bad.
For some reason, I was thinking that you meant like an AP item. I was like, hang on a moment.
No. I mean, I would totally advocate for AP Sejuani. Like, it's not gonna be the most insane, but it's gonna really confuse your enemy. Because if your enemy doesn't know what you're doing, if you don't know what you're doing, your enemy won't know what you're doing.
Isn't that the old like U.S. military adage?
I don't remember.
If we don't know what we're doing, our enemies can't. This is it's been a good game so far, and something I actually want to bring up is if you look at the bottom side, despite being up in farm, BBZ hasn't really back to grab anything yet. They're down their boots, they're down any 80 items. I'm kind of interested on like if they're just trying to save up to
more flexes of power. They're like, we don't need items to beat you. We don't. Oh, they might get dived. Oh, they're gonna eat their words, but who knows?
They are indeed. The bear is level 6. He's gonna try to get that ult, knock that turret up. Here they go looking for something, but they're spotted really out.
Dive something like the Kai'Sa with ult, and like all summons are up too, and you still have the Alistar pushback. Like, there's no way you actually dive that.
Yeah, you'd have to have the Malzahar come in to try to lock some of them down, maybe the Alistar, so that you can chase down the Kai'Sa. As she does get the back, she's gonna grab her quiver, and Alistar getting
like a 30 CF difference though, because like I think this game might actually just be a Kai'Sa difference, like
80 carry difference. Yeah. It could be. It honestly could be. You know, when you're 30 CS up and you've got all that AD she just bought, you know, you could do quite a bit if you get in that fight with the Vayne. Vayne really doesn't have many defensive tools. As Orphic, he's gonna spot out the Nidalee and he's just gonna back off right there. Doesn't want to get anything fishy, but he might actually try to challenge it.
Yeah, level 6 to level 9. I mean, as far as levels go, like Wukong's very, very healthy. Like, he's slowly winning these out because he is getting his own level lead, and more so than Red is getting a level lead. Like, Red's farm is amazing, of course, but the Wukong gets solo XP as well.
That is true, and he is also starting to get a pretty big lead up here on his CS. He's about 19, almost 20 up at the moment. And the gank does not go through. Dax and Nier looking for something, but Orphic's playing this pretty well, you know? Like, that kill earlier, we saw he really had no business getting out of it as he did, but he still just managed to turn around and get the kill.
Oh, no.
As now Orphic's going on to Nier, getting him pretty low. He's going to go up again, and he's just going to 1v1 him. Doesn't even need Big Brain, who was called up for that fight. And to grab himself another kill.
That was horribly timed. The Sejuani even trying to go for a fight right there, like... I mean, maybe you want to kill the Wukong and blow his teleport, but at that point, you should back at your items or clear wave, go for the TP, and then you're going to be with the rest of your team and start dragging immediately. But now they're stalling, and now there's time wasted, and you're not getting enough space as you would otherwise.
Yeah, they don't have a jungler. Actually, they do have their jungler. Sorry, it is Dundee. I keep thinking it's the Sejuani. Big Brain looking for something right here. Goes ult in. He steals the Infernal.
Oh,
and is on. Big Brain getting kind of low. They have suppressed lights. Light does use the ult, gets down on Big Brain, and they're going to take down the Vayne too. It's just 3 right now. Orphic looking for something right here. He's going to take down the Alistar. He's going to keep running, trying to maybe grab Dax. Dax getting pretty low. He's going to take down Dax. He's 1v4ing right now. Make that 1v2 with them dead. And 3 kills going the way of BBZ, but they lose the dragon and they still lose 2 members to this insane Wukong.
Yeah, going back on this fight, yeah, you see, if the Sejuani had just backed, you wouldn't have been as late as you were to the fight. You could start the dragon faster. You could have less of a chance. Okay, see the Alistar here? You don't need to take the dragon. Yeah, no. He needs to go back and bop Big Brain right out. Like, he should not be anywhere near. He's not even tanking at this point. Yeah, that's where it goes wrong.
Yeah, it goes wrong right there. And then, you know, Lights grabbed that really nice kill there in the back, and they zoned off Diddle in them, but Orphic doing so much work, just basically 1v2ing, then getting a 1v3, back to the 1v2, almost picks up that third. And like this Wukong is already getting really scary. I mean, yes, they shut him down, but you know, that's still 2 kills in his pocket. There's his gore drinker. It is up now. So, and he didn't have that, I don't think, for the last fight. So yeah, this could be really scary if this Wukong keeps getting this lead like this, especially with how far behind Sejuani is.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out that last fight, like Red's damage output just that whole fight, just absurd. It was so much damage, along with the Aurelia as well. But that's like the duality of supporting. Like you either help your team or you help your ADC, but it's hard to help both at the same time. But in that specific situation, you need to force the volley bear out so you secure the dragon, and that's really what the fight's about, or win or lose, because now it's 5-5, practically even. I'd say on the side of, with Lights having so much gold, it's somewhat beneficial for them because even though Wukong's a team fight champion like the Bruiser, I still feel like you could edge out some victories with just Aurelia doing that much damage.
Yeah, if she gets back onto that backline like in that fight, she took out Lynn's Sanity really quick, took out Big Brain. If she gets onto Diddle too, like there's not going to be much they can do. But again, Diddle is a Malzahar. He can get the ult. He can lock down Lights and prevent him from getting any of that damage out. Even if they don't kill him, it gives them time to take out the rest of his team. And you know, I wonder. Like that was a really close fight. I wonder if in a more front to back where Lynn Sandy and Big Brain just aren't immediately dead,
Yeah.
does that fight go in favor of Spear, especially if Wukong manages to get into that back line again? Does Red just go all the way forward, hopes to dive and maybe get out of that, or does he just have to ult away and then be zoned out of the fight?
Well, in a more front to back, it was already starting off bad because of the Sejuani stuff. Sejuani had to teleport into the enemy backline, so she's no longer tanking for champions like Nidalee, Kai'Sa. So they have to fight the Wukong alone. But if Sejuani had back there and gotten the TP and gotten that space for it,
looks like a fight's gonna break out. Lights does get suppressed. He's getting knocked down. The bear dunk comes through. The shutdown though going over to Orphic. Now it's a 3v3. It's just a support though. I don't know if they want to take this fight. Songo getting super low right there. Gonna get stunned up again. It's a double kill over to Orphic. Now the rest of BBZ is here too, but the rest of Spears arrived. Lynn Sandy grabs a kill for himself. The bear goes down the back line. It's 2v4 and make that 1v4 a triple kill over to Orphic. The Q coming out with the flash too. Red getting so low, and ace for Lynn's Sanity, and an ace for Spear as they go for the Rift Herald off that incredible fight.
That fight was brutal. Like you'll see in the replay over here. Wait, is this 3? Yeah, it's the replay. So they're starting a fight. Where's Kai'Sa? She's in the bot lane. She's not even remotely close. Like you can't do anything around here. Lights is trapped. I'd say just go for the flash. You can't escape here. Like it seems like you have the numbers advantage. But in this positioning, the positioning means everything here. Like, you don't have the consistent damage you need. Red is still walking from there. He only gets there as he brings over 2 other champions. And at this point, the fight's already lost. Like, you've overcommitted to what is a lost fight. So it started out okay, but if the positioning was better, you need a more front to back if you're going to pick 2 tanks.
Yeah, and like you were saying, Aurelia can do a lot of work, but if, as we discussed, if she gets caught out with that Malzahar ultimate, it's done. She's out of the fight. Her DPS is gone. She's dead. And now, if the Kai, like you said, Red's not there, who is the damage source on the side of BBZ? You have a Nidalee throwing spears, but those have a cooldown. Yeah, and it's a single target damage. It's not very fast. So if she can't break through those tanks, there's no one that can really save the team, and they got run down. And now they've swung at a 3,000 gold lead in favor of Spear. It might be bigger if they drop this Herald mid. It's looking like what they might be doing. Insanity coming down to help clear this wave. And, you know, what kind of fight, like what fight should BBZ be looking to take right now? What kind of pick should they be looking for?
At this point, they've never had their standard front to back fight with all the champions. Like you either have some strange carry into the backline getting Malzahar ulted. Like it's always been like just the starting advantage has been given to Team Spear. Like you just need a standard fight and you have a good chance. But if it keeps on going how it is right now, they're not going to be able to come back even with your standard fight, a favorable fight for them.
Yes, and it's getting pretty dicey right now for BBZ. they're like they put all that effort into red. He hasn't been able to get really anything out of it yet. He's got a couple of assists, but not all the kills right now are onto the Sejuani. They're onto the Aurelia, which is, you know, you want it on that ladder, but you don't want the kills on the Sejuani. She's only going to get tankier. She's not going to get any more damage. She's not going to get you that DPS to deal with this Wukong and this Volibear that are just tearing it up in the lines of BBZ. And they've got to find a way to get this Kai'Sa back, like, into this a further lead on the bot lane, but mostly just back into the game for a full item. She hasn't even completed her first item yet.
I think she has 151 farm. Like, she hasn't backed for years. Like, she did die earlier.
Big Brain going in onto Lights. They're gonna dunk him with Diddle locking him down. 2 ults gone onto that, but now the rest of BBZ is here, trying to do something. Diddle trying to get out of this. He's getting knocked up. In goes Red. Red's gonna try to get him low. Diddle getting super low, but he's getting out of it. He is going to go down. Red's here, but Orphic is now here too. Down goes Red to Big Brain, and the hunt is on. They're trying to get out. They take down the Nidalee too. Songo on the run. He's getting low too. Orphic goes on a rampage, and now the knock up onto Nier. Nier trying to get out. They're trying to block his dash. He dashes top. He is exhausted though, and it's just a matter of time till he goes down. Lynn Sandy looking to pick up this kill, and he is for another ace for Spear, and Cloud Drake on the table.
Yeah, at this point, as long as the Wukong is there, you can't really do too much. You have a little bit of breathing room now that, you know, his TP's down. Maybe you could set something up without him. But at this point, I feel like what happened before was just, I'm a big fan of more is less. Like, if they had done less and just scaled normally, you would have had a pretty good chance with your 2 front tanks and front to back play, and you wouldn't need to be deciding the game based off of Malzahar.
Orphic getting super low. He is going to get shut down. Get off a little bit more than he can chew. Lights just catching him with the ultimate.
That's a massive wallet gain. Okay, I'm liking where the Aurelia is now. You still need some towers just to even out the gold difference. Like, it's still bad. Like, Team Spirit could just slap them with their wallets, and you can't really do anything about that for now. So you need even smarter plays. You need to get more picks. You need to bush camp, honestly. Like, just do something to catch the enemy team off guard.
Yeah, and right now, Lights is the X factor for BBZ. He is what is keeping them in this game right now. 5-3-0, and you know, if they have him in a fight, they, like, the one fight they've had him in, like the full fight, they did so well. But since then, it's just been catching him out away from his team or just off in a side lane. He's got to be a little bit more cautious out there. He's got to keep the vision up. He's got to stay with his team, because if he's there, they have a really good shot in these fights. But, you know, if he just gets taken out right away, like we said earlier, like, a lot of their gold is on him. Without him, there is no fight for BBZ.
Yeah, just it is really big. Okay, because if your Bruiser has that much HP and is that valuable of a player, it's going to be really difficult. Just way more difficult for BBZ to just actually pull through the game and get those catches out, because of the Nidalee not being able to hold them down. Like, you do have some CC, but it's not intensely reliable CC. It's only on the Alistar. So there's not too much what you could do. You just need smart macro play. That's mainly what you need.
Yeah, and something to note, Orphic did get the Executioners, like you were saying, so you can tell that he is looking to stop the healing onto the Aurelia. Doesn't want the passive from Alistar or the heal coming out from the Nidalee beyond the own healing of Lights. Trying to make it so it's easier to kill this Aurelia, and I'm gonna guess it's gonna go into the armor pen item eventually too, as Dax looking to maybe go into Diddle right here. Orphic trying to do another fight with Lights, see if he can change it around. He did quite
want that fight.
Yeah,
that's not a good fight to have. If only they could know. Nidalee might actually be cut out. Oh, just so close. It's just the both. Do they know that they're there? Like, there's no way, right?
They don't. There is a red ward in there. They don't know at all. Like, the fact that Dax walked all the way around was kind of surprising. I thought he was just going to walk right into the bush.
I thought so too.
That's some big brain thinking, knowing, you know, hey, we don't know where they are on the map right now. This Vayne's all alone. I'm betting they're in one of these bushes and just getting it right like that. Now, Spear clearing out the vision around this Baron. They may try to start it up and try to bait BBZ into a fight, especially with Lights on the bottom side.
Honestly, if you can clear all of that vision, you can still show up on the map and sneak a Baron. Like, that would be possible.
Orphic going really hard on the Lights right there. The flash having to come out from Lights, so he is going to be a little bit less engageable, but Orphic did use his ultimate in that, and now that's going to be down for the next team fight. It is it's slowly coming back. It's already at about what 15% or so, almost 20%. So it could be up in time for the next fight. But with that going down, yeah, BBZ going to grab that mid turret. So going to bring that goal lead a bit closer for themselves, down to 4,000. And it's slowing. They're slowing the pace down. Like Spear has kind of slowed the pace. They haven't checked for this Baron. They haven't really pushed any objectives. They will grab this bottom outer turret, but outside that dragon's up in a minute. But they're outside of that, they're just kind of slowly farming it out.
Yeah, you still need your front to back plays. Like the Wukong will have teleport by the time of this dragon, and so I'm hoping just give me a normal fight in which your tanks are at the front and your damage is at the backwards, and then you can hopefully just peel off the Wukong because you do have a lot of A's or a lot of dashes. You have a lot of peel. Like just let Red do his job at this point.
Songo on his own, but no one else around. He's
see in the danger zone.
Yeah, he doesn't see the rest of Spear right now. Neither do we, but there they are in the river. They're looking for it. Big Brain, though, does get spotted out by the ward, and they're getting ready for this dragon. Very little vision except in the pit for BBZ. They do have a ward in the back. There could be a teleport coming out for them. Spear has not spotted it. They've got to be careful. Orphic is over the wall right now. Does spot out the rest of BBZ. Orphic's got to be careful. Also, he's just like Lights. If he dies, there's a lot of less fighting power. As he goes right in onto him, he's going to get stunned up. So is Oriri, but they're going to go in with the ult too. The ult comes in from the Wukong, and Rampage going for Linsanity onto the Aurelia, and now looking for the rest. Near teleported onto the back, gets Oriri with the ult, but it's not going to matter. Linsanity gets a double kill onto the Alistair. Now they're chasing onto Red. Red trying to run away. This bear is not relenting. He is going to go on a killing spree. Takes him down too. They also grab Dax for Orphic, and it's just near surviving. 4 kills over to Spear, and another dragon to their name.
Yeah, that is brutal. Like, you know where the Malzahar is, so you can't really be caught out, which makes your job a lot easier, which is to do nothing until you have a full 5v5, because you know the entire enemy team is there. There's no good thing, even with the 2-man stun, because you don't really have some massive fiddlesticks or not really too much going for you unless you could get some kind of Sejuani ult maybe. But Sejuani was not there. Like, you don't have your full fight. That's a 4v5. The Sejuani was actually teleporting way back behind into, let's say, towards the enemy blue buff, which is miles away from the fight. So that's just a little bit of positioning problems, which I'm seeing from BBZ. But that was really good on the side of Spear because just knowing when to engage. That was big.
Yeah, and they had that ward in that bush. It just seems like it was just either a mistake or a bad call. Maybe BBC thought they could turn it, push them back towards Dragon, and push them into the Sejuani. But as we saw, it looked as the fight starts out, where Riri gets his is able to get onto his ult. He's not able to W right away, but Orphic goes in. He gets the 4-man knockup with the ultimate, and then gives Riri time to dive right in, pile drive the CC, and just. They burn through Lights so quickly, and like we said, Lights going down. There's no one else left on the team that can fight except for Red, but he's so far behind at this point. Yeah, he's up ahead in CS, but he's down in kills. He had to sacrifice his second item for a Quicksilver to get out of the CC, so he's just not able to put out anything right now.
Wait, did he sell an item for Quicksilver, or did he just deviate from his current build?
He just deviated. He sold his Doran's Blade for it. And that's going to get sold.
That's not the worst thing, but it's rough. But actually, I don't know if they could do anything if they start the Baron, because at this point, you might want to cut your losses, try and stall off the Baron, and just farm out your side lanes to maybe get a few towers there. You just want to make sure that the enemy thinks that they want to try and bait a Baron, but really you're baiting them into trying to bait for a Baron while you're going on farming side lanes and getting gold.
Oh, and Orphic goes right on into Red. Red getting knocked super low. Now, though, Orphic is on his own. He's got to flash to the wall. He's getting super low. Near flashes takes him down, too. And now on their backside of the fight, they get one suppressed. They're going to take out Lights. It's going on the rampage with the Bear. Double kill over to the Bear. It's going to be another kill over, this time for Linsanity. And now they're chasing Red. It's a double kill for Linsanity, too, as Dax is forced away. And what looked like maybe they had something there for BBZ turns into nothing. As
that was so good, but Intel just... Oh, wait, you were saying?
Oh, I was saying it looked so good till Lights was out, and then the fight just collapsed. Let's see how this broke out, though.
Okay, so, you have pretty good grouping over here. Orphic, being, 10 kills or something. A massive wallet just decides to go in 1v3, because I guess that's what you can do. It's pretty rough for him. He gets some damage out, but you're not really going to kill Red here. And it starts too good, because you have massive damage sources. But now you have the Aurelia being ulted, and you don't have any targeting on Insanity, who's going to shred your team. Just absolutely just insane damage here. 3 autos gone.
Yeah, and they were just targeting. It looked like Red was going at Big Brain and Oriri, the members that you really you don't want to be your focus. You want Linsanity, you want Diddle, you want to try to stop Diddle so he can't just lock down your Aurelia permanently, knock him out of the CC. But it's not fast enough. It does go down. Diddle didn't even actually take a single bit of damage in that fight. And now Baron is on the cards. It's going to go down to Spear. 2.5 minutes until the Cloud Drake. 10,000 gold up 26 minutes into this game. It seems like Spear's just going to get ready to grab this Baron. I mean, not this Baron, this last dragon, get the soul, and then just try to end the game off of that. Maybe even though on this Baron push, just try to crack the entire BBZ base.
Most people would say it's over, but I'm thinking I've played solo queue before. I've been like 20 kills and like 0 deaths. I've still lost plenty of games like that. It's not over until it's over. It's losable. It's really hard to lose, but it's losable. Yeah, you just gotta hope.
It's not over till the fat Gragas sings. I don't know why I said that so. It's just kind of like
an accent at the end.
Yeah, it's a little accent, like it turned it into a little song. As Spear is clearing out the vision, they are actually making the march down mid lane. Orphic here on the side lane. Since he died, he's the only one without the Baron buff, but it doesn't seem like he's going to need it. Already doing quite a bit of damage on this tower, and no one from BBZ is here to defend the mid tower. His bot is getting low itself. Mid tower going to go down. Now the inhibitor is exposed. Base is cracked, and the bottom turret's going to go down too. They've given up on Orphic. I feel like they should have done that a lot earlier, though, as Dragon is starting to be prepared for by Spear.
Yeah, I didn't really see any potential for fight. Like you see them all. You have the option of not fighting this. Like, so I'm assuming, why didn't Aurelia take the top tower, get the global gold, and just push them? Because you could still create a lot of pressure without putting yourself in too much risk, because you see 5 people on the map. So I feel like Aurelia backing there was not the best thing to do.
Yeah, and the rest of BBZ too, you saw them rotating down to the bottom side. It seems like the weird point to go. The Wukong's just going to get out, and without your inhibitor turret crack, the inhibitor's still up. But if you step away and Linsanity or Orphic gets some time, it's going to go down. It might even just take it right here as it goes forward. Orphic gets the ult off, gets onto Red getting so low. He is going to take him down, and Orphic still at most health. Linsanity gets a killing spree onto Lights. Big Brain grabbing the kill onto Sejuani. They're chasing them down. Dax is going to go down to Linsanity for a double kill. Make that a triple kill to Linsanity, and I think that's going to be the game. Spear turning it on off the back of this Wukong, looking like absolute monsters, continuing their rise from the bottom of the standings, taking down our number 2 team in the league, BBZ, to put themselves up to 3-5.
That was amazing. Like, okay, so on the side of on Spear, like the Wukong, I'd say my MVP, I don't know if we choose those, but my favorite player this game has got to be the Wukong, because even though Insanity like just dealt insane amounts of damage, like it wasn't possible until you have the Wukong doing like 3 mana ults in the backline, pouring out damage.
Yeah, and he had 2,000 more gold than everyone else. Look at the damage numbers. 8,000 over the next highest person, which is the Malzahar on his team. Absolute carry from Orphic this game.
There goes all my channel points, man. Feels bad.
I'm glad I put my channel points on Spear. I knew they would do it, I believe.
How much in?
I got 12,000 out of it, plus my 3,000 back.
Wow, I have 178.
There, Bean Jar. You'll get him on the next game, but I think this was a really good showing from Spear. This is the best they've looked, I think, all season so far.
Agreed.
And for BBZ, I felt like they were really wobbly there. I don't think I even saw a Sejuani ult come out that game, just take the back. I saw one go on to Oriri at the end of that fight. He teleported in the back on, but outside of that, really no other ones.
Yeah, I think they just got overconfident. Like they work together well as a team. They commit to each other as a team. But on the side of BBZ, like I think success has been their downfall. Like they're not really pressured enough, and they're getting a little bit lazy on these positionings and these engages. Like it's just been somewhat lackluster in just those parts. So if you could try and get more organized play, just position yourselves better and get the fights you want to get with everyone there at the right spot, like not miles away, like that's when you're gonna have some good results. Because before they were really good at macro play. Just this particular game, I feel like it just fell off a little bit.
Yeah, it's, and then they'll have chance to claw back. They do have another game tomorrow, so we'll have to see if they can bounce back from this loss. But this is absolutely a fantastic game to start out our week with, I would say.
Agreed.
And with that, we're going to go to a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with an interview right after this.
Hello, folks. Chris Edgeworth back on the interview desk this week. I am joined by Spears Victorious Diddle in the mid lane. How
Hello.
are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It was a very fun win, that's for sure.
That was quite an explosive game. Quite a few aces. Talk to me a little bit before we talk about the game about the draft. Both BBZ's draft was really spicy, bringing in the flex of the Nid into the jungle, put Sedge top. But you guys also had a really fun and interesting composition, especially you bringing out the Malzahar. Talk to me about just the prep for this game and that draft.
Well, I have a pretty small champ pool, so I can't really pick that many champions, so it kind of shoehorns our draft a bit. But but we had the Volibear as a good flex option. But once they picked that Nidalee and the Sejuani, it was very confusing. I almost went top lane as Malzahar top because of the matchup versus Irelia, but I just wasn't comfortable enough with it. But as soon as they locked in Irelia, Orphic was very happy to lock in Wukong almost immediately. That was a pretty good matchup in my opinion. But I think that the Volibear flex was pretty good for us. worked very well in my opinion. I think Volibear kind of, what was he, 7-2 and 15, popped
Yeah,
off
popped off.
extremely hard.
Yeah, I feel like you guys really, you guys had a 200 IQ draft where I think BBZ kind of galaxy brained themselves a little bit,
Yeah,
so to speak.
that Sedge pick was definitely interesting.
Yeah, I don't think they had big plans for it. I can say that much.
Yeah.
It just wasn't there this game.
Yeah.
So let me talk to you about the game itself. So you get into this game. You, even though you're 1-2, you don't get all the kills, unfortunately. Top and
very
bot just
tragic.
griefing you. It's just really tragic.
Classic. Always gassing me every game.
That's true. It's always just bot diff or top diff confirmed.
True.
But so you were pretty effective though. You force out 2 taxes on the Malzahar, bringing out the QSSs. You got to do it if you got to do it. But like when you're behind and you have to do the mid game QSS second item in the case of red, it's pretty rough. How did it feel playing this composition out, especially with the way it started to accelerate really heavily through sort of like the early to mid game transition?
Well, the early was pretty rough. I got first blooded because I was not really anticipating their early damage, which is a fault by me. But I think I played pretty safe, and I didn't. And after that, we kind of just started. I pressed the funny button on the fed person, and they died. So that was pretty cool. Can't really do anything if you're stunned, then stunned again, and then suppressed. QSS only blocks one of those, not all 3.
I mean, people call Syndra's ult the skill button, but like I feel like Malzahar is the ultimate skill button. You're just like, done. I pressed it.
Like in like almost every team fight, like I just pressed the button, they would die, and the team, and then our ADC would just kill everyone.
Yeah, I
cool.
mean, what are you gonna do when you just get like Mal's ulted, and then you just meanwhile you have Wukong doing crazy shit behind you while you're just standing there watching? It's just pretty demoralizing.
You're just watching as everything dies around you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just there. You're just up there to watch, man.
Yeah.
So that's a big win from you guys. How does it feel to now be pretty close to snagging that even record and making that progression towards past that?
It feels pretty good. Almost all of our players here were very like new to like I think like this competitive setting of like this magnitude. So I think it took a while to get our like feet wet, get like, because like we got thrashed in a couple of those games. We like couldn't really like transition our lead correctly in a couple, but I think like this game we got a lead, we transitioned the lead, we like kind of exaggerated it, and then we kind of just turned that into a win. And I think like going forward we're just gonna do like those kind of things again, and we're just gonna not int.
The classic strategy, just don't lose and just win instead.
Simply break their nexus.
There you go. So let me ask you, any final words from us, Diddle, before we go?
GG Orphic Diff.
It was a GG Orphic Diff, folks. Heard here live. Well, that's the facts as we know them. Thanks again for joining me, Diddle, on the desk. We'll be right back with Game 2 of Heroic, so don't go away.